There's one thing that always stuck in my brain. I couldn't understand from a very young age the injustice. And why? Because the community used to help my granny and my ma traveling with me from Wellington to Princess Alice home to see a doctor for my polio leg.
You're in Cape Town?
In Cape Town.
Wow.
So they used to travel. They used to get up 3 o'clock in the morning because we didn't have a car. And they used to travel with me. And they used to abba me because I couldn't walk. So they used to abba me, and it was a community, sense of community. Everybody, I call it a relay, got a chance to abba me and to give me over to another person to get me to the station. And then the neighbor will travel with. Then we will change 3 trains. And that time, it was 3rd class. You could smell the urine. You could smell you were 2nd class, 3rd class citizens. And when you eventually get to Princess Alice home, the doctors don't ask these 3 dignified women, how was your traveling? They will be with students all in white coats. I need to strip because they need to look at my leg, observe me. Not once did they ask, did you have a cup of tea? They were invisible. And so in silence, we will travel again back to Wellington from 3 o'clock in the morning, and we will get back 9 o'clock in the evening. So I say, as from a young age, I became, this is not right. Or no one will ask me, how does the caliper fits? Everybody will talk around us, with each other, but not with us. We became the invisible. And when I came to my senses, I made a conscious choice. This will never happen with my granny and my beloved Titi. I am going to study that no one ever must treat them like they don't belong. So this journey started already in my childhood. And then I passed. I was the first that went to the university. And I landed up after I was accepted at UCT. So you needed to have a permit. Who tells a seasonal worker that you must have a permit? Hello, we got at UCT without a permit. Okay. Now it's for the audition. I passed the audition to go and do opera.
Okay.
Then the professor looked at me and he says, but you're disabled. Remember, this is the 80s. This is the early 80s. And he said to my mother, you don't have a permit. You don't have money. The child is crippled. Just like that. There we stuck. She hired a car. She borrowed money. Because now I'm the one out of that community for the first time going to university. So it's a big thing. You know what? I so admire the guts of this woman. She said to me, dry your tears. Because this taxi is not going to go back to Wellington without me enrolling you at UWC. This is a woman that only passed grade 3, man. She's wise. It was only circumstances, because she was the eldest of 10, and I became the 11th. She was a clever woman. She asked the taxi to take us to UWC. We didn't have an appointment. I didn't apply. She stood in that queue, and when we eventually got to the admission officer, she spun him. That day, my day started as my whole life changed. It was as if God has given me a chance. But I must also say, teachers on my way opened doors for me. Community who didn't have money, because I didn't grow up with money, opened their love and their hearts for me. So I grew up where money was not the order of the day, but kindness and giving of yourself. So that was my DNA. So that day, another miracle happened to me. And that miracle was the University of the Wild Blacks for Black people gave me a second leash on life. And there my activism started. I will never forget when it was that time, it was the Wituka. It was the harshness of how the apartheid government used black on black violence to actually, and I think people forget about that time, how the apartheid government used our own people to cause havoc amongst us in order for them to just to hold on to apartheid. And I still remember we that day, we were mounting a lorry to go to a church, an Anglican church in Langa with the Archbishop Desmond Tutu. I lost my life nearly several times in my life. But that day I really thought, this is my last day on earth. And we actually drove into an ambush in Langa. It was Caspers all over. We just stopped at that church. And I was the only person with disability. It was, I can't explain it to people. If I think about it, we should have died that day. All that we could just experience was canister of, it was just, I can't explain it to you. If you take me back, I don't know why I'm sitting here and being alive. Little ones came and they knew exactly what to do with the tear gas. I couldn't move. I could just see they taking me now and they're going to hit the life out of me, because this is what they're busy doing. They put Vaseline on my eyes. And then there was a comrade. And I often think about him because I think somehow they picked him up and he just vanished. He took me under his arm and he ran with me. And I don't know for how long he ran with me. He ran with me in the shacks all over until he got to a shack where he put me down and he just made to me, shh, until it was dark. A beautiful space, which is clean. I can still remember the green duvet with fluffy pillows, beautiful, clean. And when everything was calm, I don't know how we arranged it. There was a car and it took me back to the university where everybody thought I vanished. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking once again how thankful I am that I was spared that day. The second incident was, you know, when you had those days when the police came into UWC, when we had our day with the Caspers and the Arch had his cloak on, and then we will march with Professor Jakes Gerwel to the gate. Hek toe. Arch asked me, Osie, are you sure? I said, Arch, you have a cloak on. Huh? You're smaller than me. I don't need a cloak. I can do this today. Again, somebody ran with me. They hit us. So the university became calm. The talkies goes into their place where their hostel is, and we go to Ladies 1. We were all just settled. So I had my leg, when I take off my caliper, this is my assistive device, I can't walk. So we were all settled and we were tired and we decided tonight we were just going to sleep. It hit 12 o'clock. The Caspers came in. We just heard them hitting the Tokkaloka. But we never thought they will come into the ladies' dorm. The next thing, it is again havoc. My leg, I couldn't get quickly to put on. My camo ran out. It was just running and they were standing at the end of the corridor. And he was my age. He must have been 18 or 19 years old. And he came into my room with his wild eyes. And I told him in my language, Man, vanaand moet jy maar vir my moer. Sien jy die leg, ne? Ek kan toch nog nie hardloop nie. I said to him, you must maar fuck me up because I can't run. And we made a connection that evening. It was that moment in time. It was a moment in time where we connected. And he turned around. And it was like a silence before I heard the screams again. And I'm always wondering what happened to him because both of us were 18. He was on the other side. He saw me as the enemy because he was also indoctrinated. I was the terrorist. He was only 18. Where is that boy now?